If you have played Raid for any amount of time and you're anything like me, you probably ask, what gear do I sell? What do I keep? What do I roll? And how do I get to the best account possible? Well, today we are going to go over that. I'm going to give a quick 101 on gear in Raid, what we're looking for, what to go after, and some tools that we can use. So first off, I use two different tools. I use RSL Helper and I use the Hell Hades Optimizer. I'm going to give some tricks for both. First up, I'm going to talk a little bit about the rules that I use for RSL Helper, which you can find in our Discord. So the rules for RSL Helper really kind of give you an overview of how gear works inside of Raid and what you're looking for, not just in terms of selling as you're farming, but also what you're looking for to roll once you get some gear. So first off, making sure you're selling any bad boots. These are all flat stat boots. You want rid of them. There's no good need for them. If they are flat stat and they have speed, then you're looking for speed and you would want speed boots anyway. And otherwise, you're looking for a good boot, like a percentage boot with speed on it as a substat. Both cases, you're going to be selling flat stat boots. Then we're getting into rings. So you want rings that have the matching substat percentage to the main. So HP, you want HP percent on. So if it does not have that, we're going to get rid of it. So HP without HP, sell. Defense without defense percent, sell. Attack without attack percent, sell. You also want amulets. If they do not HP without accuracy or defense without accuracy, that is really the key for what you want on your amulets. So otherwise, you're going to sell those. And then there's this weird situation with attack amulets. So technically, and I hate doing that, but technically, a main stat attack with quad crit damage can out damage a crit damage main stat amulet. So there's a very, very weird situation where you can quad roll for these and have them be good. However, I generally think that it's not worth the investment to go after the quads. Certainly don't roll them past that first four if you're going to try to go for it, and then go from there. So, or that first eight to see if it keeps rolling double. Um, right. And then sell flat attack. Otherwise, there's really no reason for flat attack amulets, particularly without crit damage. And honestly, there's an argument to be made that depending on your investment level, you probably don't even necessarily want to go after that, depending on what you're going to be rolling for and so on, where the damage already is on your account. Um, Now, one thing I'll mention before we go further here, because we're going to start seeing speed pop up a lot more, and you notice I got rid of any flat stat boots because we particularly want speed. Well, always keep in mind in this game that speed is the difference between a Lego on a 3-turn cooldown and an Epic on a 4-turn cooldown. You can often make up that difference simply because of the speed of gear as opposed to the champ that you have. So, gear is really, really key, and even beyond which, speed on gear is paramount, is king and queen, whatever it is, top of this game in terms of what you're looking for to go after stuff. Now we move on to keeping good jewelry. So epic main stat crit damage you're going to want to keep. This I could change to legendary just to keep some 6-star legendary gear because there's so many different things to roll on amulets. Um, you want to keep banners with speed. Um, any legendary banners because again there are so many stats to roll for quads on that. And then banners with accuracy and speed, you want to keep even rare stuff. That can be a great piece. And anytime you see accuracy, so what we're noticing here is if that's good even on a rare piece, well, then I certainly want accuracy and speed on a legendary or epic piece. So keep that in mind as we go through that. Again, if we're getting rid of HP with no HP, then I definitely want HP with trip HP or defense with trip defense or quad defense as my pieces for rings that I want to be rolling and going after. Now we move on down. Again, we want speed boots, so rare and above speed boots in speed sets. These are sets that add additional speed. So speed, immunity, savage, perception, and there are a few others now that I haven't added, but you get the concept on what you're looking for in terms of these boots. And then keep specific sets. So these are damage pieces and specific pieces that are set up to get cap out damage and get the most damage on the account. So you want rare and above crit damage with substat crit rate. So crit damage gloves with crit rate on all of these damage type sets and any of the others as they add them throughout the game. And then same thing with chests. So you want attack percent with crit rate across the board on any of the damage type chests. And then last but not least, you want resistance on resistance chests. And you'll keep rare and above on those just because they are pretty rare pieces to come across. And you definitely want to roll any of these rare, epic, or legendary that fit that crit damage crit rate or attack percent crit rate. Then these are set up for your what are called mixed set pieces. So the random fill in one, you happen to get really good rolls on any set across the board. I, depending on how much is on your account in terms of speed, you either want to roll epic and above for speed or legendary and above for speed. So, if your um, top champs are hitting 350 speed and above, you probably can start just rolling legendaries and rolling for quads. But if you're not, you probably just need to be rolling for epics and rolling triples. Then we move on to gloves. So again, you're looking for crit damage with speed and crit rate on anything across the board. Those can be absolutely incredible to fill in for any other sets. You're also looking for attack percent gloves with speed and accuracy. Those are for your bombers, your Nishaks, your folks like that. Then we move into chest pieces. So you want HP percent with speed and crit rate, or HP percent with crit damage and crit rate. Again, defense percent speed and crit rate, or defense percent crit damage and crit rate. And then your chest attack percent piece your real heavy damagers for attack percent. Now, these are all great to roll. So, anything above this, you get a legendary with the attack percent, speed, and crit rate. Make sure you're rolling that. Those are fantastic pieces. Then we get into boots. We talked before about keeping speed boots, but you also want to keep attack percent, defense percent, and HP percent when they have crit rate and speed. Or you want to just keep attack percent with crit damage and crit rate. These can be incredible damagers and some of the top damage output in the game that you're looking for in those specific slots. Now, the way these rules work in RSL Helper is they stack on top of each other. So if the RSL Helper hasn't specifically kept or sold anything at this point, if it does so, it'll just stop. At that point, rule is over and it moves on. However, if it hasn't reached that point, now we want to get into selling all of our flat HP attack and defense chest and gloves. So, flat stat, no speed substats, no anything like that. We get rid of those and move on. And then we get into keeping specific sets. And this really comes down to what sets are good for you in the game itself. And where your account is at. So if you're, really stacked on a certain type of set, you might, tune down or tune up things in here. But this is a good idea on some basic sets to keep. And like I said, I need to update this with some of the new ones like Impulse or Merciless or things of that nature. You can kind of see what we're looking at. Any of these that are epic and above, we want to make sure we get resistance on resistance. We want speed on regen. Accuracy, we need either accuracy or speed on. Speed, we're looking for substat of speed. If it doesn't have that, there's really no good reason for us to keep it. You want speed on speed sets. That's what it's there for. So again, we're looking for these sets and these types of pieces. And if you can start combining some of these, that's amazing, right? If you start getting, a regen piece with some of these stats that we're seeing up here as being, some of the optimal stuff, definitely those are the things you want to roll. Now, this is the RSL helper, which can be good at helping you sell and gear as you're farming and sell gear overall for the account. I also like to use the Hell Hades optimizer. So I have a paid account on this. I tend to like it. I think it's helpful with the team builder in particular. But one thing it does give you as a bonus feature is you can start using the ratings that their system has for ranking how well it's rolled, how well it has potential to roll from there. So what I'll do is I'll essentially work my way backwards. So set the godlike for potential roll. I'm going to set godlike as the rating, current rating, and then I'll start working my way down. Right. So now I can see I have 3 pieces that are at level 8 that could be rolled up and are going to be godlike. They're going to be amazing pieces no matter what as I roll these up. So we keep going down here and we start seeing, okay, I click legendary. Well, now there are some pieces that may or may not roll depending on how good of, a roll I get. So they could be godlike, they could be legendary. And then we keep working our way down, very strong, strong, so on. Now, a lot of times what I'll do is one of 2 different things. I either start where I showed you from the beginning and I give, godlike and on up to make sure I'm capping out those pieces. And I particularly pay attention to my legendary or mythic versions because I'm actually going to get way more stats on top of something like that than I'm going to get out of an epic doing the same thing. Or I'll go down to the bottom here and I will set to level 4 because I want to roll some gear up from the very base. And I'll start working my way down. So first off, I've got 2 speed boots on perception. They've both got accuracy. These are fantastic pieces. They're probably going to roll amazing almost no matter what. God, this one's now going to roll terrible. But we keep working our way down. We see we get a couple more, we get a couple more, we get a couple more, and so on. And we start figuring out what we want to actually roll to be able to improve the account. Now, that really depends on the account that you have. So if you have like a account that really needs some more speed to it, or you're looking for speed in particular, what I always do is go to acquire substats. So first you roll your main, your speed boots, then you go to substat speed and you start being like, oh, okay, right? I can roll all of those pieces and hopefully get some more speed out of it. And always work backwards. Work from your legendaries on down because they tend to have the most potential, right? They can roll a quad while an epic can only roll a trip. So start with your legendaries, right? Always look at rolling for whatever your maximum financial potential is essentially of it's a gambling, right? It's you're maxing out what you're trying to do for your gambling potential the whole time. So that's sort of the trick. That's where I will work my way back through, roll up gear. And then as I've rolled some gear that I really like and I keep rolling it up, I roll the 4, I roll the 8, I roll the 12. If it keeps showing, okay, I roll, say I roll this piece and I roll speed on it. It's like, okay, great, it went up 1. I'm like, okay, I'm going to roll that again. It goes up another 1, right? And you just keep rolling it until the piece says, oh, it's not godlike anymore. Okay, well, if it's not godlike anymore, you have way more potential to put in on everything else on your account. So you might as well start investing in the stuff that will be godlike and so on. And then obviously, when you do individual builds, sometimes you'll end up taking up stuff from 12 to 16 or finishing off a last piece because it fits in a slot that you need or things like that. But if you're just doing a general artifact enhancement or just looking to roll some gear and improve your account, these are the ways I do it. So hope that helps. If you have questions, post them in comments below or in our Discord. So thanks, everybody. Hope you have an awesome day. See ya.